We are Blacktop Queen. This is We Found New Music with Grant Owens.
Their debut single is Spider Bite. Blacktop Queen joins me now on We Found New Music from Bedrock Studios. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
I guess since we're on camera and this is your first visual interview, why don't you introduce yourselves and the instrument you play in the band?
I'm Nate. I'm the drummer.
My name's Evan, and I sing and play guitar.
My name's Omar, and I play bass.
All right, so this is a brand new band, Blacktop Queen. Why don't you guys talk about kind of the concept of Blacktop Queen and the style that you play?
Well, the name is kind of just, it's a combination of our ideas. Blacktop was one person's name idea, and then Queen, and we had to change it. We added Queen because somebody else had the name on iTunes, like a 90s hip-hop unknown thing. So we ended up having to go back and change that. But the band kind of came together because I feel like the three of us really wanted, we had these songs that we were working on together that we really wanted to record, and then we had all these different directions we could have taken it. We could have added synths, we could have added another guitar player. You know, in the very beginning it was kind of like you could go any direction. Sure. You know, there was no real, I could be playing a lot of electronic things. But we ultimately decided we all really desired to kind of get back to our roots and just play in a room together, keep it as a trio, and kind of force ourselves to really like come up with great individual parts and record them live together, force ourselves to like play well together and kind of do no click, you know, let the music breathe and like speed up, slow down, and record it all in one pass and like keep the real moments, like the mistakes or that if the chorus speeds up a little bit or a bridge slows down, like keeping all those really real elements that I think, you know, we all like all types of music, but I think something like for me, what I grew up on and what I think these guys grew up on too is like the older school rock, where if you really listen to it, you can like hear a lot of the humanness of it. Like, yeah, you hear imperfections or some looseness, but that also is part of like what's cool about it, because you hear personality and you hear like Mitch Mitchell on drums with Jimi Hendrix. You kind of get to know him and his personality as a musician because it's not tampered with at all. It's all really real. So we wanted to do that in our recording.
You mentioned that you record the tracks live, you know, in one take. I guess talk a little bit more in depth about your recording and writing process a little bit more.
Yeah, so, excuse me. I think to go along with what he was saying, the natural vibe of things, I'll start with the recording. I'll kind of work backwards. The recording is, we kind of look at it like a snapshot in time. So like in the olden days when they would just put up a microphone and a band would play in a room, we kind of look at it the same way. So we just put up mics. We when we go in and we just play the song. So we don't chop things up. We don't go in one instrument at a time. We just set up mics and we play the song once or twice. And that's the snapshots. We try to keep it as raw and as just true to what we do as possible. When it comes to writing, it's all different ways, you know. Sometimes I'll send a demo to these guys, he'll send a demo, and we'll just kind of, you know, see what basically we all approve of. So it's kind of the chopping block. We all bring our offering, and then people say that sucks or we like that. So it's just basically all of us trying to make the best art we can, you know. And so sometimes it's just in the room jamming out and see what happens, and then sometimes it's one of us grabs an acoustic guitar and
that's cool.
Makes something.
Seems like you guys are already pretty comfortable with each other, writing together. How long have you guys known each other?
Well, I'll start with Omar and I have known each other for a while, for like 7 years, and playing in different combinations of bands and touring, and like there's been a few musical like life forms of us of making music together or just playing other people's music, and like but we played a lot together as a drum and bass combination, and it was kind of I feel like we've always known for years that like we always really liked the way that we played together as like a rhythm section. And so when like it came time to like start a band, I think we both knew like this is a good combo, and it's a kind of a special, unique combo. And then I think Evan and Omar have known each other for several years also, and have played together in various musical settings. And I also had played with Evan, and we'd all kind of worked with each other in different combinations of ways, and heard each other's old projects and bands, and respected each other's bands, and been like, I love what he does. I'm just not a part of it right now, or I love what he does, and like I'm not a part of it. And so when we all became available to be in a band, it was kind of an instant like, I've always liked what you did, and I liked what you did, and you liked what I did, and so let's all like do it together. And now we feel really like it really is something kind of special. And even I think for me, speaking for myself, it feels even more unique and special than previous things, Awesome. Kind of feels like a culmination of like everything I've always wanted.
Yep.
I don't know. I'm speaking for myself, but I think they're into it.
Shared passions.
Ditto.
Yeah.
Seems like a passion project for sure.
Yeah.
That's cool. You guys recently had your first live show at Dirty Laundry. How do you translate your sound to the live show atmosphere?
Do you want to take it? Or want to?
It's not for us. It's not really a translation. It's the same thing. So the way we track, the way we rehearse, it's all the same. So we didn't really feel it's not for us like, how are we going to pull these songs off live, because the whole thing is live. So we've been playing shows to ourselves for a while. So it was just walking across the street and playing it in front of people. That was the only difference. So it's
Oh, no, go ahead. I don't want to cut you off.
And that's the end of my story.
Okay. I just wanted to add to that some of my favorite like experiences growing up and going to see my favorite bands or music was knowing the record so well, because I knew the music, and I listened to it so many times, and then you hear it live. And when I was like a young musician in high school, you notice little things like, oh, the drummer played a different drum fill than I remember, or a different beat, or the song's a little faster than I remember it. And all these things that like for me made it super exciting to see a band live, because you get to experience it in like a new, fresh way. And you get to see the people that like played on the record like interpret it in the moment. And it was so special to like see guys do it live. Like as a kid, for me, it was like Thrice and bands like Thrice and Green Day and whatever. Seeing them live, and you see like the new whatever those guys are feeling on that day, which is making a kind of a new connection happen. And so for us live, we did our first show, but it's been a conscious thing for us moving into that show and into future shows, like to keep that, like we stick to the record, but we also are very much musicians that like play what we're feeling. Like if Omar and I look at each other and we're feeling a moment that we're going to go in harder on this verse, and we're going to make it maybe a little heavier than it's ever been, that's where it goes, and that definitely, I felt like that definitely happened at the show. There were moments that were like, that's just like the record. And there were moments that were like, we just all make eye contact, and there's kind of this agreement to like, let's get a little wild here. And it happened. And it, it made the moment kind of like special.
Cool. You just released your first single, Spider Bite, which I've been told is from among a long line of really cool, powerful songs. What made you decide on it for your first single?
I don't know if it was this long, laborious, crafted master plan to release that specific one, but I feel like it's a ballsy song.
Mm-hmm.
It's a powerful song. It's got a lot of energy to it, and so I think we just kind of wanted to make a statement right off the bat we're a band that plays energetic, fun rock music, and we kind of wanted to set the pace with that one, I think, and that one. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, we're playing it on our show. I saw our good friend Kevin Bronson playing it on Buzz Bands. So it's already getting some early love. You guys are part of the LA music scene here. What does it feel like to be right here in this LA music scene? And as a band, what do you feel Blacktop Queen will contribute?
I really feel excited about the other bands that are like doing stuff and like starting to really gain their footing in the last year, couple of years. That are, a lot of them are friends of ours, and even just going to like local shows or seeing bands that, you know, started out in LA a couple of years ago and now they're on the road. It's been really exciting and fun to see some like other badass musicians that are taking risks or doing cool new things live or coming up with creative ideas and writing good music. And like, I really love being a part of the music scene here. And there's just a lot of really, really good things going on and people encouraging each other and pushing each other and like coming to each other's shows to support. Like even at our show was a bunch of friends bands that are, some of them are out touring, some of them are also local bands, and like it was really cool to feel that camaraderie. And we're always going out to friend shows, and I think as far as what we'll bring, I really like that, and I mean this in a sincere way, only because like I've put years of efforts into trying to become a great drummer, and I know Omar's like a badass bass player, and Evan, one of the biggest remarks we got back was like every note was like in tune with his voice, and like it was there and it was solid, and he's a badass guitar player too. So I think one thing that we feel confident in, and like one thing we really like to have fun with live, is that like we can all really play, and like we bring it live. And like one of the remarks we got back from the show was like these guys are like playing their asses off, and I think that's one thing, like we push each other in, you know, like if I hear Omar like really going for it, like I'm gonna go for it too. And so I think it's, I don't know, I'm curious to see what happens as that goes on more and more, and as we start to tour. And I'm very, very curious to see like where we take each other, because I feel like the music isn't going to grow stale. You know, after playing Spider Bite for like 20 weeks on the road, I'm very curious to see what Spider Bite has become. You know, because I don't think it'll be what it was when it was recorded that day. We might end up just loving it just a little bit faster, or we might turn the bridge into like a whole different version of itself.
One more thing, Omar, you have a fixation with Jar Jar Binks.
I really don't. I don't know why that question's there.
He's ashamed now.
I hate Star
He
Wars.
sleeps in Jar Jar Binks sheets.
Come on, man. No?
No, I hate Star Wars.
Right on, guys. Well, we're excited about you guys, so that's why I came all the way out here. And we'll keep playing you on We Found New Music. And hopefully we can do a show together or come play live. Thanks, Siri. Blacktop Queen is live here at Bedrock Studios, and go check out their debut single, Spider Bite, now. Thanks, guys. And thanks for tuning in to We Found New Music.